Like to call the meeting to order. Moved by Councillor Kotick, seconded by Councillor Keo, resolved that the regular meeting commenced at the hour of 7 p.m. And be it further resolved that council acknowledges that we are meeting in the Robinson Superior Treaty area on lands that have been traditionally used by several indigenous neighbors, but we would like to pay special recognition to our closest indigenous neighbors, the community of Bigtiguan and Pic-Mobert First Nations. We wish to recognize the long history of the First Nations and Métis people in our region, specifically, and show respect to them today. All in favor? Please, you will not.
Councillor Keo,
Yes.
Councillor Kotick,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes, carried. Moved by Councillor Keo, seconded by Councillor Kotick, resolved that the agenda be approved as circulated.
Councillor Keo,
Yes.
Councillor Kotick,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Moved. Carried. Okay, are there any additions or deletions to the agenda? No. Disclosure of pecuniary interest or general nature thereof? No. Okay, approval of the agenda. We just did that. Delegations and presentations. Moved by Councillor Keo, seconded by Councillor Kotick, resolved that council has been provided a presentation from the Free Hawk Trails Association Incorporated to formally introduce the association and share future plans for the trail development. I'd like to welcome you to the table. Oh, is it? Okay.
Oh, hi, thanks for having us. I just wanted to introduce Free Hawk Trail Association. Kind of joint ventured with Louis from Free Hawk. Started this whole thing, but me and Jay came up with the idea of starting a nonprofit, try to get the ball rolling on getting trails built in Manitowoc. And then Mike from Epic Adventures, and we can push that ahead by probably a year because we were pretty lost on what to do. So we have our nonprofit done. We have our number. We have everything all situated. One thing we wanted to mention was through the nonprofit and the association, we'll have our own liability insurance. So any trail that we deem that we'll maintain or build will be under our liability insurance. So it kind of takes a little bit of onus off the township. We're working on our project plan to start going ahead to companies like Manrock, Farmanco, Barrick, a couple other businesses in town, maybe get donations to start building. We are looking at, as of right now, to just start maybe building in the Red Wing Trail area, since it's kind of isolated towards the ski hill where we've been kind of told the 4 seasons of the ski hill usage to help the town with that. And then we have future plans if everything goes somewhat good. We have other areas that we're looking at possibly building. And it just kind of brings in getting the kids out mountain biking. We started mountain biking just last year at right late 30s. So and we took off with it, like, and it's just something to get the kids out. I think once we have actual trails established, we could probably draw in quite a bit of tourism into town, because we've made a couple trips out to Thunder Bay, the Shunya Mines, and it's something we've never seen. Like, it's, the people are so nice to each other, and just it attracts people in. So we're kind of hoping that we can bring that to Manitowoc, like, because we have so much untapped resources here. It's in every direction, right? So that's pretty much our plan. If Mike has anything he would like to add, since he's kind of the professional behind it all.
I don't have too much to add after that. Joel did a pretty good job there. Trails are a benefit, not only just to tourists, but locals as well, right? They're a good social and economic driver for your communities. With the right promotion and the right trail design and setup, Manitowaj is definitely an untapped gem that could be tapped. Just it's been a pleasure working with these guys here, and it'd be nice to watch them come to fruition over the next couple of years.
Okay. Is that everything? Are you open for questions?
Hi, got a question?
Okay, any questions? No. Any questions, Councillor Keel?
No, just more of a comment there. It's nice to see that they've done their background research to get a proper footing in the right direction with their aspirations to have trails in Manitowaj. Good job.
Okay, thank you. I have a question. Is these trails concentrated and geared towards mountain biking only, or?
Directly, like, the first trails that we like to build are more like to get people out going. Cause like in Thunder Bay, they have their different trails, you have your blue, green, then obviously like the black trails, different difficulty skills.
Okay.
So you get your beginners out to get everybody out biking. And even in Thunder Bay, all those trails are utilized by people that wanted to walk, like hike on them. So it's multi-use, just, you always have to have the signage saying like beware of bikes. Yeah. So in Thunder Bay, they use their trails for fat biking, which is becoming bigger and bigger, snowshoeing and stuff like that.
Okay, so that.
It's
that's
a
my
year
question.
round.
Year-round hiking and. But
Yeah,
hiking and biking and
Yeah,
snowshoeing.
Yeah.
Now, yeah, and that would be my concern, would be the people walking. You know, because
yeah,
bike comes around the trail and there's someone there.
yeah, exactly. And that's most trails you see, like they're multi-use.
Okay,
They might be geared more to biking, so it's just signage saying like beware, there is bikes, right? So.
okay, but it is multi-use,
Yeah.
like it, okay, perfect. So, yeah, that's all I have. Thank you very much. Looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And further, that council thank the Free Hawk Trail Association Incorporated for their presentation. And further, that council defers the matter to staff to determine how the township and Free Hawk Trail Association Incorporated can work together for the betterment of Manitowaj. All in favor?
Councillor Keough,
Yes.
Councillor Kottic,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Adoption of the minutes.
No minutes.
No minutes. No petitions. Correspondence. Okay. Moved by Councillor Kottic, seconded by Councillor Keough, resolved that correspondence items 08-01 to 08-03 be received and filed. All in favor?
Councillor Keough,
Yes.
Councillor Kottic,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Okay. Reports and committees. Okay. So, okay, on July 31st, I was honored to be invited to a very special ceremony. And I was very proud to represent Manitowaj at such a historical event. I was at the territory overlap agreement signing and celebration. And again, I would like to thank Chief Duncan Machano and Chief Louis Quisawa and everyone else involved in organizing that agreement and celebration. It was a great opportunity to be part of that. And also, for the civic holiday, I would like to honor Manrock Development because they have been a long and rich history in Manitowoc and the mining sector. They are one of the township's largest employers, and they are excellent corporate citizens, donating time and resources to a wide variety of community projects. Please help me celebrate our civic holiday by recognizing the great work of Manrock Development. Please share our gratitude by thanking a Manrock employee for being a wonderful contribution to Manitowoc and to remind them how much the township appreciates them. Okay, over to you.
Thank you, through you, Mr. Chair. A few updates for you tonight. First off, I want to give an update on the rest stop at the corner of Highway 17 and Highway 614. The facility is closed due to mechanical issues, and the MTO has been there to snake the lines as well as camera the lines, and they have found some structural problems, mechanical problems that they will need to work on fixing. But in the meantime, they have placed one portable toilet on site. I'm told that it is very well used, and so I requested a second portable toilet, which they will be installing later this week. And hopefully the repairs don't take too long, but in the meantime, the building is closed to the traveling public. I'm pleased to say that TBT Engineering was in Manitowoc this week, working on a number of projects that we have consulting on. The recreation center upgrades, the pool upgrades, Manitou Road upgrades, as well as a demolition project that will be contracting out. And thankfully, repairs to our boiler system and we see in this building. As we all sweat it out. The last update is late this afternoon, I received an email from the Ministry of Energy confirming a delegation with them at the upcoming, conference, the week of August the 20th. So we will put that package together and I'll be happy to meet with them. And that's it for my updates.
Thank you very much. Okay, over to business. Moved by Councillor Kotick, seconded by Councillor Keo. Resolved that council is in receipt of administration report Air 2023-01 submitted by Marcel Demars, manager of bylaw and airport services regarding winter tires for the new Holland Airport tractor. And taking his place would be McGregor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, everyone. I was asked by Mr. Demars to speak to this report. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to help answer them.
Any questions, Councillor Keo?
No questions for me, just, I think in the long run, by equipping the tractor with the proper tires, will probably pay for itself anyway if we're continually trying to move snow, and just with wasting crazy amounts of fuel and spinning the tires, and it kind of seems like it's a must to be more efficient at the airport.
Thank you. I noticed that the bits of tractor was at the dealership. Was probably the most efficient way to do that. I don't know if there was any price comparisons done. Any idea?
So given that, like you said, so we have the dealership for service, this is an opportunity to have this work done. I'm not sure what kind of pricing Mr. Brooks did besides this pricing, but my understanding was it is good pricing.
Okay. As long as the prices are in line, I have no objections. So, yeah, thank you very much. No other questions? Okay, and further that council give pre-budget approval for the purchase of 4 new winter tires for the new Holland Airport tractor. All in favor?
Councillor Keo,
Yes.
Councillor Kotick,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Okay. Moved by Councillor Keo, seconded by Councillor Craddock. Resolved that council is in receipt of administration report TR 2023-05 submitted by Aaron McGregor, Deputy Treasurer, regarding water and sewer levy relief program. You're on.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a report and bylaw bringing forward the relief program that has been discussed as part of our new water and sewer levy structure. The bylaw is attached to the report, and anybody has any questions, but
Any questions? Any questions, Councillor Keo?
No questions from me, no.
Okay. Would you care to summarize maybe in layman's terms?
sure. So there are two main eligibility criteria. The first is that you are a qualifying person, and then the second is that you have a qualifying property with a qualifying increase. So first, you have to be under the different definitions of the bylaw, you must be a low income person with disability or a low income senior. And the parameters for that are based on our tax relief program. So to be a low income senior, you have to be a recipient of OAS guaranteed income supplement payments. To be a low income person with disability, you must be a recipient of payments under the Ontario Disability Support Program or Ontario Works Payments and you are aged 65. That's for the low income senior. Ontario Works Payments and aged 65 or older, or for the low income person with disability, also I think the CPPD would be another qualifying criteria. These items are in the bylaw, and you also need to have experienced an eligible increase, which means that you must have occupied the property either as a tenant or as an owner prior to July 1st, 2023. And the relief will be calculated based on your increase. So for example, if based on the qualifying period in the bylaw, you paid $600 annually and the new levy is $769, then you would be receiving $169 in a relief credit for that year. It's important to note that for this year, because this new structure is coming into effect in the middle of the year, such support will be prorated over half of the year. The form for this support will be available very soon, this month, and those that are interested in applying can direct the questions to the township and come pick up the form. We'll also make the form available on our website as soon as it's available.
Okay, thank you. So I'd encourage anybody that feels that they qualify, please come and get a form. And I also understand that that is totally up and above any other relief plans or anything else that people would apply for or would qualify for.
It is different from our tax relief program. Our current tax relief program is a deferral program where if you experience an increase and you are a low income senior or a low income person with disability, then that increase is deferred to a later year, but those taxes are still payable. Under this relief program, it is a waiver of a portion of the levy for your property. So it's not a deferral. This program is a waiver program. I think that it addresses the increases that a lot of our most vulnerable population will experience as a result of this change.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And further, that council approve the bylaw to provide for relief of water and sewer levy increases for the purpose of relieving financial hardship. All in favor?
Councillor Keo,
Yes.
Councillor Craddock,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes, carried. Okay, next. Moved by Councillor Keo, seconded by Councillor Craddock. Excuse me. Resolved that council is in receipt of administration report TR 2023-06 submitted by Aaron McGregor, Deputy Treasurer, regarding the 2023 schedule of user fees.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. My report is numbered differently. That's where my confusion starts.
Sorry.
So, this one's fairly straightforward. We've had this discussion already. This is the implementation of the water and sewer levy structure that we previously discussed in report 2023-02 and 03. There is one adjustment, and that is that 5 Shawinigan Place, Our Lady of Lourdes Catholic Church, was incorrectly categorized as a residential property in previous iterations, and that has been adjusted, and their rate is in line with the other churches in the area.
Any questions? Councillor Keel?
No,
Okay. Thank you. And further, that council approve the bylaw to establish 2023 services and charges. All in favor?
Counselor Keough,
yes,
Counselor Cottick,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Okay. Moved by Councillor Cottick, seconded by Councillor Keel. We resolve that council is in receipt of administration report admin 2023-27 submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding to declare surplus 15 Manitou Road West and 10 Oswego Road for demolition.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last year, we had several tax sales, 2 sold and 2 were vested to the township. And we had Simone Donaldson from Remax Generation Realty have a look at the 2 properties that were not sold to determine if we could put them on the market for sale or if they needed to be demolished. And her recommendations are attached, that they both be demolished. And further, that we had 3 pending properties scheduled for demolition from a failed tax sales back in 2019. And so I'm requesting pre-budget approval from council in the amount of $50,000 to put a tender out to demolish the 5 properties.
Any questions? Any questions, Councillor Keel?
no,
Okay. I'm not gonna. Okay, and further that council declares the following properties to be surplus. And further that council approves the properties to be demolished as per the market value opinion provided by Simone Donaldson, Remax Generation Realty Limited. And further that council gives pre-budget approval in the amount of $50,000 for the 5 residential demolition projects scheduled for 2023. All in favor?
Counselor Keough,
yes,
Counselor Cottick,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Okay. Moved by Councillor Keough, seconded by Councillor Cottick. Resolved that council is in receipt of administration report admin 2023-28 submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding ombudsman complaint and resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. As council is aware, we've been working with the Office of the Ontario Ombudsman regarding a complaint that was filed back in 2021 with regard to the treatment from staff to a local resident over the course of 2019 and 2020. I'm happy to say that we've received the ombudsman's recommendations and brought it completion to the complaint. The ombudsman does have several recommendations which staff support and are working towards implementing within the policies of the township. But first off, the ombudsman is requesting that the township write a letter of apology to the resident. Also that we update the township's tax collection policy, which was last updated in 2006. And that all staff receive training on the procedures during the tax sale process and what supports that we can provide to residents who may be experiencing a tax sale, whether it is occupied or not. And that we provide information back to the Office of the Ombudsman by the end of the month with regard to the steps that staff are taking. And then additionally, at the last council meeting, council approved staff to write a grant application to the Thunder Bay District Social Services Administration Board for a homelessness relief program, which will also be used to prevent people from becoming homeless as a result of lack of utilities or outstanding taxes. So we're hopeful that that grant would be made available to us. I'd be happy to take any questions if you have.
Any questions, Councillor Keel? Councillor Keel? Were you there? Okay, it's 7:25.
We will attempt to reconnect with Councillor Keo, and we will begin our 15-minute time period in which to do so.
And that's because without Councillor Keo, we do not have quorum. It was a 15-minute window.
Can you hear me now?
There we go.
Yes.
Sorry, my headphones died.
Okay, any questions over the report from the CAO?
No questions for me. I just, I agree with the ombudsman's recommendations. That's about it.
Thank you. Okay, and further that council accepts the correspondence dated July 20, 2023 from the Office of the Ontario Ombudsman. And further that council thanks the Ombudsman's Office for their thorough review of the complaint and thoughtful recommendations with regards to improving municipal services to our residents. And further that council directs the staff to update the township's tax collection policy approved by council under resolution 2006-316. And further that council direct staff to prepare an apology letter to the complainant as a result of giving them only 3 days notice to vacate the premises. And further that council direct staff to work with the integrity commissioner to update complainants on the nature of any delay and the expected completion date when the timeline for completing an initial review or investigation is delayed beyond 180 days and set out in bylaw 2019-07, section 6-12 of the Integrity Commissioner's Inquiry Protocol. All in favor?
Councillor Keo,
Yes.
Councillor Kotick,
Yes.
Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Carried. Okay. Moved by Councillor Kotick, seconded by Councillor Keo. Resolved that council is in receipt of administration report, admin 2023-29, submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding section 357 application, request to reduce current value assessment. And further that, reduce current value assessment. Sorry.
Thank you through you, Mr. Chair. This is in follow-up to a closed session item that was brought forward earlier this year. And staff's recommendation is not to adjust the current value assessment for a number of reasons that were outlined in a confidential memo to the council. And that further that staff advise the applicant of council's decision and provide them with information on how to appeal council's decision within 35 days of tonight's decision. Based on council's review and approval.
Are there any questions? Any questions, Councillor Keo?
No, not for me.
Okay, and resolve that council declines the application to adjust the current value assessment, CVA, submitted to the Township of Manitowoc on December 31st, 2022. And further, that council directs staff to provide council decision and the reason for the decision to the property owner without delay. And further, that council directs staff to provide the property owner with information regarding the rights to appeal the decision of council to the Assessment Review Board within 35 days of the council's decision. All in favor?
Counselor Keough,
Yes.
Counselor Coddick,
Yes.
Counselor Ruff. Yes. Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Carried. Motion hold. Okay, where we at? Moved by Counselor Coddick, seconded by Counselor Keough, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report admin 2023-30 submitted by Florence McLean, CAO, regarding compressed 4-day work week policy.
Thank you through you, Mr. Chair. I've met with the senior administration to talk about compressed work week policies. Because we have received feedback and input from staff, but this is something that they are interested in working towards. The policy outlines what a compressed work week would look like for the township, and the research that I've done does identify that it's more successful in smaller municipalities where it's more manageable. The policy does allow for staff to opt out of a compressed work week if longer hours over 4 days does not fit their lifestyle or their family situation. And that it would be done in a team approach so that the office is still open 5 days a week. And first and foremost is service delivery has to be met in order for this policy to work. We're requesting that it be done on a 12-month trial period so that we can track implications to the overtime for specifically public works. Our recreation staff already work a 4-day work week, so this wouldn't impact them. And the policy outlines how we would manage vacations and staff holidays. And we would also be open later on Fridays. So now we currently close at 2, and with a 4-day compressed work week, we will be open until 5 o'clock. So there are some additional benefits, not only to staff, but to the corporation as well.
And the public.
And the public, of course.
Okay, any questions? Any questions, Councillor Keough?
No questions for me.
Okay, thank you. And further, that council approves the compressed work week policy on a 1-year trial basis. And further, that council directs staff to report back in September 2024 on the implementation and outcomes of the policy. All in favor?
Counselor Keough,
Yes.
Counselor Coddick,
Yes.
Counselor Ruff. Yes. Mayor Moffat.
Yes, carried. Moved by Counselor Coddick, seconded by Counselor Keough, resolved that council is in receipt of administration report admin 2023-31 submitted by Jolene Keough, clerk, planning administrator, regarding the draft procedural bylaw, being a bylaw to establish rules of order and procedures for the council of the Township of Manitowoc.
Thank you, through the chair. This bylaw is being brought back to council for preliminary review. It required a few updates and some clearer instructions as identified in the report to council. Because it is the procedural bylaw, it does require a notice period before being passed. So the intention is this is for information purposes and preliminary review for council. The first and second reading and draft would be brought to council at the first meeting in September. We would initiate the 2-week notice period of notice of passing if council chooses to pass the bylaw, and it will be brought back at the last meeting of September. If anybody has any questions?
Any questions? Any questions, Councillor Keel?
No questions for me.
Okay, and further that council received the draft procedural bylaw for information purposes, and further that council directs staff to bring back the procedural bylaw for council review. All in favor?
Counselor Keo,
Yes.
Counselor Kotick,
Yes.
Counselor Ruff. Yes. Mayor Moffat.
Yes. Carried. Excuse me. Moved by Councillor Keel, seconded by Councillor Kotick, being a bylaw to provide relief of water and sewer levy increases for the purpose of relieving financial hardship be read a first and second time. And further be read a third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2023-36. All in favor?
Counselor Keo,
Yes.
Counselor Kotick,
Yes.
Counselor Ruff. Yes. Mayor Moffat.
Yes, carried. Moved by Councillor Keel, seconded by Councillor Kotick, being a bylaw to establish 2023 services and charges be ready first and second time. And furthermore, be ready. And furthermore, be ready third time, passed and numbered as bylaw number 2023-37. All in favor?
Counselor Keo,
Yes.
Counselor Kotick,
Yes.
Counselor Ruff. Yes. Mayor Moffat.
Yes, carried. Moved by Councillor Kotick, seconded by Councillor Keo. Whereas section 239(4) of the Municipal Act 2001, SO 2001, C25 provides that before holding a meeting or part of a meeting that is to be closed to the public, a municipality or local board or committee of either of them shall state by resolution the fact of holding of the closed meeting and the general nature of the matter to be considered at the closed meeting. Now therefore be it resolved that this meeting is hereby closed to the public as the subject matter being discussed falls under the following section. Section 239(2)B, personal matters about an identifiable individual, including municipal and local board employees. Manitowoc Municipal Housing Corporation. All in favor?
Counselor Keo,
Yes.
Counselor Kotick,
Yes.
Counselor Ruff.